Good evening, Anunal. So I'm welcoming you all for this key session on online steel procurement for the MSMEs with the theme of challenges and beyond. With Tata Nexark, we are doing this event. So now I request Mr. D. Ravi, Chair, MSME Committee, SICI, and Managing Director of CMD Precision Products Private Limited to give the welcome address. I request you to take it forward, sir, please.
Yeah. Good evening to all. At the outset, I welcome all of you for this important meeting by SICI. Thanks to Tata. First of all, I welcome Mr. Boris Lawrence, Product Specialist for Tata Nexark, and Mr. Anjan Raja, City Sales Manager, Chennai Tata Nexark. I also welcome all the members who came online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you all. Just to say about SICI, SICI, you all must be knowing it. It stands for South Indian and Pioneering Association, Industrial Association. It is 112 years old. It's a pre-independence association, started in the early 90s. We are further, it's an important sector we are focusing on. SICI is focusing on various activities in our regular schedules. And post-COVID and during the COVID and meetings, several initiatives this year also listed in our website, interesting programs worthwhile keeping track of. Your membership with us will assist you and your business keep pace with the changing times. We look forward to you. I also take this opportunity to invite the members and to join SICI. SICI, under our dynamic chairman, agencies, government and the industries, trying to represent many of the industrial issues with the government. We conducted Tamil diaspora where inviting all the entrepreneurs from Tamil Nadu settled abroad to showcase their talents and also arrange an industry exhibition. SICI recently led a business delegation the first week of March. Activities about SICI. Coming to today's event, it's an interesting topic about the metals, material, and Tata is a well-known name in our country in all kind of industry, be it locomotive, metal, IT. They are a huge conglomerate. First of all, we are happy to welcome Tata Nexark of Tata Group. Started a very innovative approach for the MSMEs. That is mainly for the procurement of materials. So, for all the manufacturing industry, particularly MSMEs, depends on their material procurement on a day-to-day basis. And their survival also depends on the efficiency with which they procure the materials. Procurement of materials is a very complex process. Discussions on bids, and also most of the MSMEs face a lot of common challenges like the ensuring the right quality of material, compliance, delivery risk. It all makes it companies to find it highly qualified supplier to procure things from. Accessing important information is sometimes an issue because of chaotic data management. The decision-making process takes longer and several resources are wasted and that are required to complete the job in adequate manner. Lack of digitalization in the procurement process also leads to uncontrolled spending. This issue not only associated with unjustified use of capital, but also buying from same supplier at a higher price under the same condition other than the other suppliers. Yes. But that can be handled if we adapt technology and find a solution that will help make procurement easier, hassle-free, and more efficient for companies. Digitalization, standardized process, and well-defined workflow to mitigate the risks that are associated with the supply issues. Procuring materials online helps an organization maintain its relationships with its suppliers, cost, and ensure optimum supplier performance for those who use it. When buying procure materials online, the transactions are easier to track and they are made over the internet. It also saves a lot of time for buyers as they can go on internet and place an order without any worry. Such suppliers receives an order in real time, other fulfill in quicker than the traditional methods. So these are all the what Mr. Boris Lawrence and Anjan Raj is going to talk about the online procurement. But I also, as an MSME chair, like to explain few points I like to put forth before I hand over the proceedings to them. MSMEs are always sandwiched between OEMs and Tier 1 customers and much bigger in their operation size than the MSMEs. MSMEs being a very smaller and they don't have much negotiation power to deal with customers nor with the supplier of materials. So this is a condition for many of these MSMEs, because when they go to suppliers where the volumes are not so attractive, they may not get the due treatment from the another thing, the reason for we see the high price fluctuation due to reasons of various reasons. There is an often the price fluctuations are so unlike the past. The price fluctuations are very frequent and also too bigger in nature. That is when I say in the percentages. The percentage of price hikes are so huge. MSM is really from the customers who always hesitant in passing on that price increase. And this is the today's condition when you talk to any MSMEs. So that way this topic is pretty hot and very important for MSMEs. It's simply because in any of the MSMEs, their conversion, the raw material input cost is anywhere between 60 to 80 or addition is hardly ranges from 40 to 15% or 10% also. When such a huge price variation and procurement is there, and if any lacuna or failure on the controlling the price within the quoted value is going to be very dearer for the MSMEs. And then few more points is also other than the price is available in our country today. That's what I say. I don't know. I may be wrong. Because when we go to certain customer, I'm also as an MSME, when we go for any price increase or things to the customer, he simply asks me, show me some index, show some SIAM index or LME index and things like that. Where it doesn't give the index doesn't give the reflect the true price of the market of that particular time. In fact, probably today in the meeting, the speakers are going, if they can identify, show us, enlighten us with some specific indexes, which can be a reliable index. It will be very useful for us. And there are a few sites available, online sites, but they are also not so well reliable on the current market price. One more important aspect I like to put forth is also the case of exports. Since many overseas countries are looking at India as an alternative to China, so many inquiries are coming from various parts of the world. But when they specify the drawings with certain grade of steels, finding out that correct grade in Indian market or finding an equivalent for the grade, exact equivalent matching to his chemical or physical property, are a big task. Many times some so that is why for the particularly the exports, if there can be any standards or tables available which can with the Indian standards, maybe if this Tatas can help us, like the Indian standard comparing to this standard, DIN standard, or Acme American standard, or any other standards, and getting a ready reckoner for our steel procurement, it will help many of the MSMEs. If anything is available, if they can pass on also, probably we can circulate to all our MSME members later. So with these few points put forth, and also with the opening remark, I once again welcome the today's speakers from Tata Nexar, and I hand over to them, and I hope the speech is going to be beneficial to many of them.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now I request Mr. Boris Lawrence, Product Specialist from Tata Nexar, to take over the session. I welcome you, sir.
Good evening. It's Anjan here. I'll be taking the first half, and Mr. Boris will be taking the procurement part since he handles procurement for Tata Nexar.
Yeah.
First of all, thanks for the opportunity, Siki, and thank you, Chairman of MSME, for giving us this opportunity to participate and connecting with your members of your prestigious organization. Thanks for the opportunity provided. I hope this webinar will be very much useful for your members, because we are going to talk about real-time situation prevailing in the market, and how Tata is going to support you in helping you procure steel at a better process. Boris, if you can project the screen, I can start. Yeah, you can set it to full screen.
Is my screen visible, Anjan?
Yeah, Boris, your screen is visible. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So first of all, I'll just give a introduction about what Tata Nexark is about, and then a few things about Tata as a group, and then I will run you through what specification is done, and later my colleague Boris will share about today's topic, which is going to be steel procurement. How Tata is going to make the life of MSMEs easier by participating in the purchase of raw materials. To start with, about Tata Nexar, can you go to the next slide, Boris? So Tata Nexar, our brand, our company name is Tata Business Hub Limited, and our brand name is Tata Nexar. So Tata Business Hub is basically a B2B organization which was started in October 2020, aims in addressing the various pain points of emerging businesses and MSMEs in India. So we have identified certain business processes or certain points which are the issues faced by the MSMEs, and Tata is focused on addressing those pain areas to improve the efficiency or performance of the MSMEs. Talking about Tata as a group, we have a legacy behind the company. It's almost 150 years of legacy which we carry, and the same trust is also being embedded in this new startup of Tata, which is Tata Nexar. So already we have a relationship of around 1.5 lakh MSMEs. And when I talk about Tata Nexar, this platform is going to be solely dedicated to MSMEs. How Tata can improve the life of MSMEs by providing a value add or better streamlining the processes by improving the efficiency. So before starting off, I would like to play a small clip about our company, which will be self-explanatory, and I will touch upon it on later. Boris? Thanks, Boris. There was a small clipping about who we are, about Tata Nexar. So I'll quickly touch upon the few focus areas which we are providing from Tata Nexar before handing over to my colleague Boris, who will be taking care of steel procurement, and he will be walking you all through the steel procurement process, which is the topic for the day. So these are the various other offerings from which from Tata Nexar we are providing to the MSMEs. So as I told you, Tata Nexar, we identified certain areas which are very much required for MSMEs to be focused, and they needed support. So we are identifying those areas and we are giving them a solution. For example, if you take the tenders, so when once we approached MSMEs, we found out they had a lack of the main important thing is they wanted to know the opportunities which are available for them in the market to go and pursue them. So we had brought them tenders which will give them the correct source of opportunity, which the MSMEs can take it forward and get a good profit. And next we have procurement. Currently, we are starting with steel as a procurement from Tata, and slowly we are under the process of expanding this steel procurement into various other industries like building materials, chemicals, you name it. It will be coming in the down future. About the steel procurement, my colleague will be touching upon it. And we also identified business loans as an important requirement for the MSMEs, because working capital management is always been a pain area for MSMEs, because they'll have order, but the working capital to produce those and execute those orders will be an issue for them. So we are supporting emerging businesses in working capital management also by providing business loans directly to the business owners. And we have government tender support and various other tender support as well, in the sense once we provide an opportunity for an EB to participate in the tender, EB is again coming back to us saying that, sir, this opportunity is visible, but we are not equipped in how to take the tender forward. So we have specialized services in supporting them on how to apply for the tender and win them accordingly. That's another separate issue. And finally, we have also identified logistics to be a major critical part in the life of MSMEs, where logistics is pretty much required by every MSME to take their finished goods to their respective customers. So these are the various offerings currently we have from Tata Nexus, and we will be uh, finding out more and more pain areas which are required from the MSME, and we will be providing services to them. So I hand over the stage to Mr. Boris. He will take care about the next procure from Tata Nexar, which is simplifying your life in buying steel as a raw material to begin. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Sanjay. Thanks, Sanjan, for the introduction of Tata Nexark, and thank you, Siki, for this great opportunity, as Sanjan mentioned, and thanks, Ravi, sir, for the intro which you gave regarding the MSMEs, the challenges they face, and what you are expecting from us. So yes, so in the next slide, I'll just, so we've jotted out 5 key challenges which are faced by our MSMEs, pan-India. So we did a market research before we entered into this business, and we found out that there were many challenges faced by MSMEs, be it maybe during the pricing or during the supply or during the procurement. But these were the 5 main points which were given out by all, most of the majority of the MSMEs. So the first one, if you see that, how do I get the best priced raw material for the quantity I need? So every MSME will have in his mind whether the price he is getting is the best price, or even after negotiating, the customers will have a doubt in their mind whether I am taking it in the right price. But due to the competition of other MSMEs doing the same product or something, we do tend into a situation where we believe that, okay, this is the right price given for me, and we take the product. And the second point, I mean, the second problem or the challenge faced by an MSME was, how do I reduce my efforts in finding the trusted suppliers? Because nowadays, as Ravi sir also clearly mentioned, the times have changed where all OEMs want organized material, quality material supplied from an MSME, and even the MSMEs are finding it hard to difficult or trust a supplier who gives them the right material, because the quality of the material or the standards of the material have been so different in the market that export brands are coming inside, more foreign brands under.
I heard you went to the customer. He will update you everything. Huh? No. I heard you tell him. I am will update me.
Excuse me, ma'am. Meena ma'am, can you just mute yourself? Yeah, sorry. And so it is difficult for an MSME to find whether he is a trusted supplier from an branded manufacturer, or he's a trader, or he is the one who's selling the secondary materials instead of the prime materials. And the third challenge which we came up was, I spend so much time buying. Is there a way of reducing this effort every time? So for getting the prices of a material or getting the availability of a material, the purchase managers of the MSMEs or the owners tend to search for or get speak with more number of sellers and more number of parties, and that will take their bandwidth. They won't be able to concentrate more on their products or more on their company, instead of putting so much time in getting the raw materials. And the fourth one was high credit rates every time. I'm unable to shift supplies either. So as rightly said by Ravi sir in the beginning, every OEMs are now not paying on an advance front. So every OEMs are paying at a 30-day or 60-day, even after seeing the material, after seeing the end product. And MSMEs believe more in credit rather than in advance, because they get the payment only after 60 days, and they wanted to rotate that payment to get the product. But the problem here is, so these sellers or traders or distributors make an opportunity of this. So they know that the MSMEs need material and they need credit, and they are giving high credit rates every time. And this was some very major problem faced by all the MSMEs, because for us, for an example, for a material of rupees 60, they had to pay 66 or 65, 5 rupees for a 30 days and take it. And this is happening even in all parts of TN as well as in Pan India, because we can say that we are getting a 30-day credit or a 60-day credit, either spending 1 rupee or 2 rupee. But there are MSMEs who are spending more than 4 rupees or 3 rupees for a 30-day credit, because they are facing challenges to procure the material from their trusted supplier. So to get from a trusted source, the vendors are also making it as an opportunity and getting more money from them. And so, just a minute. Yeah. So these were some of the solutions which the MSME themselves gave that they need. If these were there, they might think of a different vendor or think of a different partner or think of a different perspective to procure material. So they needed a single window solution where they can find everything under one place. They wanted reliable suppliers. They wanted transparent pricing. They wanted timely delivery and a sustainable relationship. So all points coming from a single source will be difficult, was difficult, but Tata Nexark, Tata Group and Tata created this vertical Tata Nexark, and in Tata Nexark, we created the vertical Next Procure. Just, yeah. So Next Procure is something that where you can buy raw materials at your ease. Earlier, we saw the challenges, and we've created this Next Procure with all the suggestions given by the MSMEs to help them move forward. Yeah. So I'll just explain what is Next Procure. So Next Procure is a single window solution for the business to conveniently find reliable suppliers with transparent pricing, with benefits of timely delivery and sustainable relationship. So the major challenges which we had gone through was that the MSMEs are finding it difficult to find reliable suppliers. They found it hard to find assured quality and competitive pricing for more credit rates and the delivery for an hassle-free operation. So all these points came up and we created this platform. So first point, when you take assured quality and competitive pricing, is what we say that we will be able to give. So because the vendors or the sellers which we have onboarded have come up with a certain set of regulations and a certain set of parameters, and we have curated all vendors so that their quality, their processing facility and their inventory is such that they have a high class facility so that they can give the right material to right customers. And the bills of materials curated by industry is that we'll be very transparent in a way that if it is a particular brand, it will be the particular brand which is served to a customer. And if a brand name is different, we'll tell to the customer that it is a different brand, rather than customer paying it for one brand and the seller giving it for a different brand. That confusion doesn't take place here. And a credit enabled purchase is something every MSME wanted and will need even in the coming future. So we've broken the part, we've given the transparency, pricing as well as credit rates to the customers, where they can transparently check and compare in the market what prices they're getting, what credit rates they're getting from the market, and what credit rates are offered by Tata. So Tata takes the risk of giving credit to a MSME. So like any other aggregator, many aggregators are there in the market. If you name, there are 4 to 5 who are doing well in the market, but they are getting credit from the seller and directly giving it to the customer. But Tata doesn't take credit from a seller and give it to a customer. Rather than they give the money, even if it's a credit order, they give the money to the seller, and they take responsible for an MSME to give credit to an MSME, and all the prices and all the charges, all the interest rates which are present for an credit is taken by Tata themselves and delivered on time. So while assuring or promising an order or closing an order, we promise certain timelines and we adhere to the timeline which is given during the purchase order. Yeah. So this is so Tata Nexark, now buying high quality steel online is easier than ever. So it is one platform where even Ravi sir had quoted, where if we can find something in the internet or find something in portal where we can see that the prices are transparent, that everything, if it comes online, we can also see it on a daily basis. And this is one place where you can find the pricing, find the material, find the quality of the material at one place transparently. So what we wanted to become down the lane is that making your buying pattern easier. So it is just, you can place an order in just 4 simple steps where you post your requirements and we will give you the best quotes from a seller. So we have a variety of sellers or number of different categories of sellers. Meena ma'am, can you go on mute?
Hello, Mr. Meena Goyal, can you please mute your Mr. Meena Goyal, can you please mute your mic? You are disturbing the others, please. Saranya, can you mute the audience, Saranya?
Yeah.
So, carry on, please. I request all the participants, please mute your system so that you don't be disturbance with the proceedings. Thank you for your cooperation.
So as I said earlier, that we can place an order in 4 simple steps where you post your requirements, we get the pricing from the right distributor or the right seller at the right time, and you compare the prices in the market. And if you feel that we gave the right prices to you, you make us the payment, either advance or credit, where you can find the credit options in the portal directly. For that, we need certain documents from your side, and your credit limit will be enabled based on the pattern of your credits, and then we'll be confirming the delivery timelines with you. So currently, Tata Nexark is doing an offline, as since the online platform is under construction, and we'll be live either in 2 months. And so all the process which I told, that you give us requirements where we get the right pricing from you, you compare the pricing, and if you feel the pricing is right, you make the payment, is currently done through offline, where we have a sales team in Chennai headed by Anjan, who had briefed you before, and that's a sales team in entire pan India. So we are currently live in 10 cities, and we are hoping to expand it to more and more in the coming months. So this is our business model, which we already discussed. So it is like an e-commerce platform where the buyer meets the seller, but we will be adding as the intermediary. So we'll be getting a inquiry or a requirement from an EB, that is a buyer, and we as a platform connect the sellers, get the right pricing, and share the pricing with you so that we can close the order based on the transaction. So who's our target audience? So currently, we are focused on steel. We started with HR, CR, HRPO, galvanized sheets, corrugated sheets, and roofing sheets, and we entered into TMT. And slowly, we'll be moving it into constructed related like cement, RMC, and chemicals, and we'll be increasing our portfolio more and more in the coming months. So cement, RMC will be entering into our portfolio or our category in the month of April. And currently we are dealing with HR, CR, HRPO, GI, GP, BGL, corrugated sheets, and PPGL. So as I said earlier, these are the categories of steel which we are dealing with. And we are similar like many platforms, but the advantages or the differentiation part which we bring in is the trust what Tata brings in. So we give the right pricing to the customers, and as Ravi said mentioned earlier, that MSMEs doesn't always have the negotiation power to negotiate with the distributor because of the tonnages they have. Because most of the distributors or most of the OEMs directly deal with the manufacturers, and they have the right amount of tonnage. Maybe a distributor takes around 5,000 to 6,000 tons per month, and based on that, they have the capacity to negotiate with the manufacturer and get the price. And before all these aggregators or all these transparent pricing companies came in, it was distributors who were marking the prices in the market, and the distributors gave a certain specific pricing to the traders or dealers, and dealers or traders in turn were keeping up their own margins and selling to the MSMEs. So if you see this concept, at last the MSME gets a product where the material price is 60, they get it 65 or 64 without any credit, and once they add credit, it jumps up to 67 or 68. So this concept where you can find the transparent pricing is what it makes the difference all about. So for example, Tata Business Hub or Tata Nexar. So we as a firm generate or create the demand from the market. So if an MSME needs 2 HR or 3 HR for maybe 10 tons or 5 tons, but we in our end have a capacity to negotiate with the buyer, because we'll be having a demand of for same 2 HR for 150 or 200 tons, or sometimes even 500 tons. So in TN in Tamil Nadu, Tata Nexar is started 4 months back. So we currently have 25 sellers onboarded in our platform, and we do multi-brand. It's not Tata specific, so we'll do multi-brand. Like we have Tata, we have SAIL, we have AMNS, we have JSW authorized distributors onboarded with us, and we have TMT, we have primary as well, we have secondary as well, based on the requirements of the customer. So we get the pricing from a trusted source, trusted supply. We give the TCs before the customer purchases the material, and we service the MSME. So this is the next slide is just a video of what I've told before. So what Next Procure is all about. So you'll get a brief understanding, a gist of what Next Procure is.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
So this is a small brief or a small outline of what Tata Nexar brings to the MSMEs. So as I discussed earlier, the challenges the MSME faced, we created a difference, and we wanted you to try out the difference what we created. So there is so as Anjan had mentioned earlier, they are heading we have a sales team here, and by the end of the session, I would share the contact details of what needs to be done in order for the MSMEs to contact to us will be shared. And if at all anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to take it now.
Thanks, Boris. And members, that's about our presentation. So keeping it simple, Tata is going to serve you better in terms of buying raw material, specifically steel to begin with. And as Mr. Boris was saying, since we are from Tata Group, it doesn't mean we are only serving you Tata brand. We have various brands with us. So depending upon your requirement, we will be able to serve you. We would be happy to take any questions right now arising, and we can discuss on that.
I am R. Srinivasan.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, since SMEs are consuming less of steel, okay, what will be the minimum ordering quantity in your system for various types of products? Can you elaborate on this?
Yes, sir, definitely. So, sir, as I told you before, we know that MSMEs take minimal quantity, and the MOQ which we have is 2 tons for one thicknesses. So, for example, if an order of 5 tons is there, and you wanted HR 3 mm of 1 ton, HR 4 mm of 1 ton, and HR 5 mm of 3 tons, we do service those orders. So the minimum requirement would be standard size of 1 ton. of any thicknesses, and we can get you the best pricing for that.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any other questions? We'll be happy to answer.
One more question on this. Okay, the purpose of you bringing out this wonderful idea of uh, for SMEs to procure online is to reduce their higher cost by going through a dealer, then a distributor, and all these things. What is the likely, assuming that somebody buys 5 tons of CR material, okay, at one time, or maybe as you said, minimum on 1 ton, what will be likely saving for the SME? Suppose I assume that somebody places an order for 2 tons. Okay, there is number one, there's a price and there's a delivery. How much time to take for an order to be executed?
So I'll answer the first question first. So the price differences, as rightly you mentioned, it depends on customer to customer, sir, because it all depends from the sources of where he gets. So there might be some MSMEs who take directly from a distributors, maybe at a rate of, for an example, CR at maybe 71 today, and we'll be able to give them a pricing of maybe 70.5 or 70.75, because you know about steel, because we are new to steel, but you are already 20 or maybe more than 20-30 years in steel industries themselves. So steel industry is something where you will have the minimal amount of margins. So even a distributor or a dealer can't be keeping around 5% or 6% because of the competitive nature of the market now. But earlier, yes, I say that they would be keeping more than 2% or 3% in every transactions they do. But now it is, since we as aggregators came inside, they are also lowering their prices. So if we, Tata, Nexarch is not there, earlier it is impossible for an MSME to know what the prices is going on the market, because the price is fixed by the distributors and the traders, because a circular comes from the manufacturer that the prices are going to increase, and these traders or distributors fixes the prices and give it to the market. So when we as a aggregator actually came inside this platform, so all the distributors and traders are now finding it difficult to quote higher. So they are also minimizing their prices. But yes, there are many MSMEs even today where they get CR for 72, 73, whereas I can give it at 70.5 and 70.75. So it is basically the source at which an MSME gets. So based on their pricing, definitely we would be competitive to whatever price they take. And regarding the second question for delivery part, so currently we are running at an promised delivery timeline of 2 to 3 days, 1 to 2 days for standard materials and 2 to 3 days for up to length materials. So if an MSME needs materials in a specified length or a specified width, we take 2 to 3 days.
Okay, one more question. You said that you are also financing the SMEs. Then in that case, assuming that you said this CR is sold at 70.5 to 70.75 per kg. Okay. Okay. Then in that case, assuming that I buy about 1 ton, for example, how much extra I have to pay towards the finance charges?
So yeah, sir, as I mentioned during the presentation, so we do get certain documents like your GST basic documents. We do assess your credit and give you a credit for 30 days or 60 days. Okay. And as mentioned earlier, we have certain interest charges which are fixed. So which we will be discussing with you when we get in touch on a 1-to-1 person. But on an average, we are getting an interest. I mean, to just give it in a public note, we are starting at a rate of 1%, and we go up to 1.5%.
And this is way lesser when compared to the market rate, sir. And because, as Boris was also mentioning, since Tata is a well-established organization, we have processes for everything, sir. So there is also finance team of Tata which is involved. They do the credit verification, how much amount of credit can we give to a particular customer. So we collect your basic documents like a basic GST certificate, 2 years audited bank statement and bank statement of the company. We analyze your credit worthiness based upon your documents provided, and we assess you with the credit limit, sir. Say, for example, we might start off with some 50 lakhs of credit, and once on proper business transaction going on smoothly, we will be increasing the credit limit, and we'll be continuing it as a repeat business. So it depends upon case to case basis when it comes.
And currently in the market, if you can see, sir, and if you would have already known that for 30 days, people charge more than 1.5 to 2 rupees, or sometimes a distributor themselves charge 1 rupee. So whereas when Anjan had told you that we'd be charging, I mean, when we had discussed that we'll be charging from 1 to 1.5, it basically comes, for an example which you took, CR 70.5, we would be adding 0.75 extra. So it is just that, yeah, it is some 250, or you get the direct price differences here. So where you can take the, even for 30 days, you get 0.75 or 0.8 rupees extra, rather than paying 1.5 or 2 rupees in the market.
Good. Thanks, Boris, for the nice answers. Thank you.
Thanks.
And one more thing to top it off is like all your transactions will be directly with Tata Group entity. So we will make sure all the statutory norms, your GST filing, everything is followed from our end. So you can be relaxed that your order is safe with us.
And that is one important point which Anjan had mentioned, sir, because there are many aggregators in the market, but they don't give their own invoices. So you get the material, you give an inquiry to an aggregator, you get the material from a seller, and the invoices which come are directly from the seller. Whereas the differentiation point is you come to us and we'll be the only point for you. So your GST norms or your invoicing or your taxation is everything is done by Tata Business Hub and Tata Nexar, and you won't be directly shown to a seller or a trader. So we do all the negotiation part for you, we do all the pricing part for you, and we give you the direct pricing, direct credit, and direct invoices from our side.
Okay, but you give the invoice, but the test report will come from Tata Steel, right?
Yeah. So the material test certificate, if you are getting a Tata material or a JSW material, all the test certificates come directly from the mill, sir.
Okay.
From the production mill.
Mr. Anjan, Ravi here.
Yes.
So you deal with not only you also deal with JSW, Arcelor, and
Exactly, ArcelorMittal, SAIL. So that's what I want. I clarified myself, sir. We are not since we are a Tata Group. Many of them are understanding that we serve only Tata material. It's not like that. Our purpose, as I told you earlier, is to support the MSMEs. So I can't go to the MSME and say you have to buy only Tata products. So that is the main differentiation here. We give you a wide range of brands and variety according to your requirement, your specification, the brand, the make, everything will be tailor-made, sir. According to your requirement, we will do it.
I understand. And you also deal with EN series materials?
Yes, sir.
Like EN1A, EN8, rods?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That also you can deal.
Yes. Special grade materials also we have vendors with us who will be able to support.
So
We also have vendors who can supply you with special grade materials. For example, imported materials, which will be very rare to find in the local market. We have specialized vendors who specialize in importing materials from Germany, Japan, so that we'll be serving those special grade materials as well.
But you are right now restricting only to steels, not to aluminum or other things.
We have stainless steel as well, sir. We have onboarded a couple of vendors. And
you deal with stainless steel also.
Yeah.
That's a good news.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
One more question, Srinivasan here.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you said your minimum ordering quantity is 1 metric ton, but to reduce transportation costs, if I order 2 tons or 3 tons, what is the benefit?
Benefit in the sense, sir?
Because if I order 1 ton means it becomes 1 delivery.
Definitely, sir. See, we would encourage you to order more than 4 or 5 tons, because as you said rightly, the transportation generally comes down, because even a trader now has a vehicle for those maybe he has a Bolero or he has a Tata Ace which carries more than 4 or 5 tons, and even if you order 1 ton, he'll be putting in the 4 or 5 tons vehicle and giving it to you, and he'll be charging the same amount freight charges which occurred for the 4 or 5 tons. So it will be more benefit for you when you order something around 3 or 4 tons, so that you get an advantage over it. And just wanted to give a clarity on this point when Ravi sir was speaking. So we do the categories which we currently have onboarded and we are doing now are HR, CR, HRPO, GI, GP, BGL, PPGL, TMT, stainless steel, pipes, EN rods, EN grades, and as Anjan said, we do imported materials also and specific grade materials like HSLA for HRPO or different OEM grade materials for CR. So we do even serve those kind of materials. And even if there are a requirement of 275 GSM in GI or a E350C material or SJ 552 material in HR. So we do serve these kind of specific OEM grade materials also, since we have onboarded specialized sellers for those grades.
Here, one more advantage of members coming directly to Tata is we will reduce your workload, sir. For example, you have a regular purchasing pattern. What your purchase manager does is he regularly gets quote from 2 to 3 vendors, analyze which one is the best, and then try to do the negotiation. So in this, in our platform, we do that heavy lifting for you. So we float the thing with various vendors. We get the best available pricing for you from the market, and we provide it to you, so that your time is also reduced in this purchasing button.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is BD Mathur from Action Construction. This platform is only for MSME or for large players also?
Sir, large players also you can use. We are focusing majorly on MSMEs, but our main focus is like the more this one more purchasing power we have. Also, it's a better we can translate that result to the MSMEs. Say for example, now I am doing around say some 1,000 tons. When I increase my purchasing power to 10,000 tons or 15,000 tons, I can transfer that goodness to MSMEs and my customers also. The more, the merrier. That's it. As simple as that.
What are you present in Delhi and around?
Yes, sir. Exactly. We have a pan India sales team, and our network as a Tata Group is available pan India also, sir. So we can get you the pricing from here, and we can deliver it in Delhi, Bombay, wherever you need. We can get the nearest available material for you, so that we can reduce the logistics cost as well. So, and we can serve you on a pan India basis.
So you buy directly from Tata Steel or from market?
It depends.
Both, sir. So based on the quantities. So because you know that for an direct plant order which we do, we need for a specified thickness we need more than 150 to 200 tons. And if that is an order which a customer gives, yeah, we do direct, or else we source it through the market, but at a rate where we can get from the direct.
No, but because we buy directly from Tata Steel, so will there be some rate arbitrage on that?
So if you're already taking from Tata Steel, then it won't add any, maybe an additional cost benefit to you, sir, to be honest.
So can you ask your Delhi team to contact us for?
Definitely. So
you are based out of Delhi, or you're based out of
Faridabad?
Faridabad. Definitely, okay. We can reach out to you.
Definitely, yes. We'll reach out to you.
Right.
Yeah. Also, for a coils, will you able to give the slit to the requirement size? Like,
yes.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
What about the N bits? When you slit it to the requirements and the N bits?
Wastage, you mean?
Yeah, wastage, the jumbo coil, yes, where you do the slit.
So that is based on the customer request, sir. If a customer requires that he does not want the wastage to come to his place, then we do inform our vendor that kindly quote us without the wastage, and we'll get the specified prices for you. And we do slit and we do cut to length, and there is no restrictions in the width or length. So we do any kind of, any thicknesses or any of width as well as length.
No, you say that you can able to deliver in 1 or 2 days time.
Yes,
But
sir.
do you have any slitting or fitting facilities all in Chennai? Suppose if you are placing order from Chennai?
Yes, sir. So that's what I said. We have onboarded 25. So we've tied up with 25 vendors. So 25 vendors, what I mean is 25 distributors of all brands. So we signed an MOU with those vendors where we can use their cutting facilities for us.
Okay.
So currently for TN, if you say, we have 25 onboarded in Chennai, we have around 15 onboarded in Coimbatore. So we have cutting facilities in Chennai and Coimbatore. So if at all an MSME needs material to be delivered in Salem or Hosur or Coimbatore, we have that facilities where it can go from Coimbatore.
Yeah, I understand.
And we have, and from the company perspective, so we've opened our sellers in Bangalore, we are in Hyderabad, we are in Delhi, we are in Mumbai, we are in Pune. So these are some of the markets where our vendors are live now. So we have more than, on a country level, we have more than 160 vendors, trusted suppliers who have onboarded with us for steel alone.
Okay,
So
thank
you can take material. For example, you can discuss with me in Chennai, get me the pricing, and I can supply you in Bombay, Faridabad, Delhi. So entirely in backend, it's all very well organized structures. Like I head the sales, Boris is the steel specialist. Similarly, we have steel specialists across the country, and we have a one centralized sourcing team. So they discuss on part of us when we give the requirement to the vendors. They get the best pricing, and they will be able to deliver it across the country. So the network is from Tata end is very well oiled machine over here. So the processors, everything, framework, everything has been set from Tata. So when it comes to steel, all you have to do is just give us an requirement, and we will be able to serve you on that.
Yeah, I got it. Definitely, it's a very innovative, different approach, and we really appreciate. And we'll be keen to try and experience it.
Thank you, sir. We love it.
Definitely, sir.
If I may ask, what is the current tonnage you're doing, monthly or annual?
So for TN, we've started 4 months back, and currently we are doing an average of 1,000 to 1,200. And on a pan India basis, so currently we are live. So earlier we started in Maharashtra 6 months back, and we are closing up to 5,000 tons in Maharashtra alone. Under Tata Nexar. And on a country basis, we are touching upon 9,000 to 10,000 tons now.
And to be honest, month on month, this number is keeping on doubling and tripling. So,
Yes, sir. So
to
because
be
4
honest,
months back,
we are hardly 3 or
TN
4
started
months in
with
the market.
because TN
But
started with 50.
There are other aggregators in the market who do 60, 70,000 tons a month.
Yes, sir. They might be
That's what.
established.
So earlier,
No.
yeah, because earlier I worked with an aggregator. So JSW1, if you had same type of similar model. So it took 2.5 years for the other aggregators to touch. Currently, they are doing 10,000 tons. But Tata as a brand and the way these people have their mission or vision is that we've touched 10,000 in no matter than 6 months. So because steel vertical, we've started just 6 months back. And it's the Tata Nexar concept which started 3 years back. And we are month on month, we are increasing at a rapid pace for more than 40 to 50%, sir. Because 4 months back, TN was touching 100 tons, and now we are averaging 1,000 tons. Because last month we closed at 1,200, and currently now we are at 500 tons. So people are trusting us, MSMEs are trusting us, and repeat buying is what our main strength is. Because the customers whom we had serviced in the start of the months, even in Maharashtra, the 5,000 tons which they are doing, the repeat business customers are more than 3,000 tons. Because they understood the potential or they understood the value which Tata Nexar gives them, and they are okay or they are agreeing to the part where Tata Nexar gives them credit or BG or LC facility, and they are using those facilities to grow their businesses also. And sellers are happy. So the main point here, why Tata is going at a rapid pace is sellers are happy to quote even competitive prices to us rather than other aggregators. Because if you know other aggregators, the payment cycle in which they do to the sellers are more than 2 to 3 weeks. And if it's a credit order, the seller himself directly gives the risk to the customer, and the aggregator only gives the payment to the seller once he gets the payment from the customer. But here it is not that case. Even if I give you a credit of 30 days, I pay the seller in 2 days, and I will get the money only after 30 days from you. And for this point, the sellers are happy that they are getting the money in hand, even if it's a credit order, and they are ready to give competitive prices even for a credit order with us.
Exactly.
And that gives us a price benefit advantage rather with other aggregators in it.
And this gives an advantage where the seller is ready to give us priority to Tata. So in turn, what we are doing is we are transferring that benefit to our customers. So end of the day, once we talk about Tata Group, our more broader thought is like give back more to the society. That is one of our core values from Tata Group, which is being followed across all companies in Tata. So across the whole Tata Group, we have the same policies, the ethical guidelines, and other things. So you can be assured that these values will be followed by Tata Nexark as well. Any other questions, sir? We'll be happy to help.
Yeah. If there is no other questions from the members, Sarina, you are there on the line? Yeah. If there's if there's no further questions from the members, definitely we like you to share your details to all the members, so that we'll be interested to be in touch with you and we'll experience.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks. I have posted my number and email ID in the group as well in the chat. Your members can contact us directly, and given an opportunity, we'll also be reaching out to all of you, because in this webinar we can't focus individual attention to all your members.
Right.
What we can do is I can assign my team to reach out directly, because this is a very targeted audience. So people who are having a requirement that participated in this webinar. So we will reach out to them and we'll be happy to help them and take things forward.
Yeah. Yes, Anjan. So thank you very much. I thank both of you, Boris and Anjan, for your time and explaining about this new concept. And I hope the members who attended it should definitely have a good takeaway from this meeting. So let us start getting benefit out of it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. The pleasure is actually ours for connecting with your prestigious organization and your members.
Yeah.
Looking forward, sir. Once again, I'm just putting my number in this chat box. People who are interested can reach out directly to me, and we will connect with you directly, sir.
Sure.
Thank you all. We'll just like close the session. Our participants, if you have any queries, I request you to reach us. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Anjan, can we just close the session?
Sure, Saranya. So once again, thank you all. Thank you, members of SICI. Thank you, Mr. Ravi, Chairman, and thank you, Saranya, for coordinating and organizing this wonderful webinar. I hope this webinar would be useful for your members, and we would be looking forward to connect with each one of you personally and support in the procurement of steel for your company.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks all.